Thanks for staying with us. And Bill O'Reilly in the Miller Time segment tonight. We have three hot topics, so let's get right to the sage of Southern California, who joins us now from Santa Barbara. So as we reported, big Benghazi hearing tomorrow in D.C. And you say, Miller?
Well, I don't think much is going to come out of this. That's just my thought. Bill, I have a feeling that if 4 jihadists had been killed by our guys that night on the raid on Benghazi, that there would have been an internal affairs commission from our service seeing why these guys killed 4 jihadis, and they would have found out more than we found out so far about getting 4 of our guys killed.
Why do you think that most Americans aren't locked in on this story? I mean, it is life and death. Ambassador Stevens, a good man. He did ask for more protection. It was not granted. The murder did take place along with 3 other Americans. Then the government misled the world about the motive, who did it. There's a lot of ingredients here, but people aren't locked in. Is there a reason?
The reason that people don't know Benghazi from Benghazi, and they don't know Benghazi at all, is that we are not a culture that deals in consequences anymore. It's not like we look at things and go, well, that's not right. We've got to flatten the perpetrators, so that isn't right. Now, you look at Barack Obama with the sequester thing. It always makes me laugh when he brings up sequestration, it talks about how the evil Republicans are foisting it on the people. And then you want to just say, well, it was your idea. You came up with this.
Yeah.
But it falls on deaf ears. Nobody holds anybody accountable anymore. And the press isn't going to go after this story, Bill. A lot of people in the press, maybe some guy on the internet will break it eventually. But you realize Woodward and Bernstein became Woodward and Bernstein because what they did to Nixon. The key thing in that equation was Nixon. You had a free rein on him. You can't go after this guy. You won't get Woodward and Bernstein status. You'll be out of the game. If you're the one who brings down Barack Obama, you will be out of the game. And if you go after Hillary, who's going to run the next 8 years, you'll be more out of the game. So in this case, it's just, it's just not going to happen. The press isn't going to dig on this.
All right, but tomorrow is pretty much the last chance. And I expect that there's going to be a lot of coverage tomorrow. We're going to actually watch the coverage for the folks looking in now. And Bernie Goldberg will be on Thursday and see how each network news covered it. Of course, we'll cover it in depth. All right, Al Gore, your pal, close and personal friend up in Idaho, I think you hang with him sometimes, is now reported that he is almost as wealthy as Mitt Romney, Miller. And then you're right behind that. What do you think about the Almeister?
First off, I know you're joking, but can you believe it? I think Gore is such a detestable cat that I have to go on record on TV and say, I'm not a friend. I don't run into him. If I saw him, I would run away from him. He might be rich, but as far as his karma, his account is bereft. He's gone into deficit here. The simple fact is, this is the equation I was talking about earlier with nobody's accountable anymore. Al Gore jammed global warming down everybody's throat. He then tried to take a mail stop at climate change because that wasn't working anymore. He then got current TV up and running and made a mint off it when he sold it to Al Jazeera. Al Jazeera is owned by big oil in the name of Qatar. And, I don't even know what their citizenry is called, the Khazars, to quote the great Ray Stevens.
The Khazars.
But the simple fact is, if you lay that out, everybody should shun Al Gore.
Yeah,
everybody should just walk away from him and say he's a phony. But they don't. And that'll show you why people just aren't accountable.
When he went on, Lauer hammered him on a Today Show and a few other the broadcasts.
Oh, really? So you think Al Gore's done the walk of fire over selling
he
current
took a little
TV
heat and
to
that's
oil concerns?
Right. No, there's no doubt is very hypocritical.
Yeah, when you get grilled by a player like Matt Lauer, God forbid, you have faced it all.
But at least he did it. At least he did it.
Yeah, was he as tough on her as he was on Ann Curry?
Miller. All right, Chris Christie got his stomach stapled and I guess lost 40 pounds, and there he is. And you say?
Well, his detractors in the Republican Party are saying he's had the lapdog surgery. I like Mr. Smith and Walensky, but I'll tell you this, he certainly knows how to get someone elected president. I guess he's going to do it for himself this time through. And you got to lose some girth. Look at that, Billy. They couldn't KY him into a Hawker 800. Look at him. I mean, it would look like an MRI exam.
He's
and
a lot
until
of
he gets
energy,
big
though.
money behind him and he's flying on Gulfstreams, he's going to have to be on Hawker 800s and he can't fit. Unless you're going to run for Mayor McCheese, you can't be that fat and be in politics.
Not today. I mean, Taft and Grover Cleveland, two of your personal favorites, are very hefty boys. But he has a lot. You know, I've always marveled at Christie's energy, even though he's a big man. He's got a lot of energy, but
yeah, you have a hell of a lot of energy until the minute your heart stops in the space of 1/2 of a nanosecond. Right up until then, though, yeah, you're a long-distance runner.
He should be like me and give up the gluten. You know, get that wheat out of there and watch it. You don't have to have your stomach stapled.
Billy, can I tell you what it was like to be your friend when you were on gluten? A living hell. Yeah. Now that you're gluten-free,
now that I don't have the big hero sandwich anymore, and I miss it. All right, Miller, thank you.